May this message lead you to a deep reflection on the processes and tools of self-transformation provided by the renowned yogi Sadhguru. If you want to start your yoga journey with Sadhguru, click on the link in the description of this video and learn more.
And it's in your body, it plays in so many ways. It is in many other things. When I say in many other things, to put it in a very rudimentary way, if you walk this way, if you bring a dog, just by smelling the floor, it knows you were here. So you are leaving puddles of memory, yes or no? So, when you walk, you're leaving puddles of memory. That's why a dog is able to trace it down. Up to 3-4 days, sometimes even longer, if no disturbance has happened, much longer, it can trace it out. If you just walk, where your contact with the floor is just what? Maybe a few seconds. If you're leaving puddles of memory for a creature like dog to figure it out, where you're sitting, how much memory do you think you're leaving? Huh? Big. So the clothes that you're wearing right now, that's in touch with your body, how much memory do you think they're carrying? If you walk like this, where for a few seconds your feet touches the ground, if you're leaving memory like that, which lasts for days on end, if nobody interferes with it, if no other overlaps happen, it will last much longer. If that is so, where you're sitting, the clothes that you're wearing, the place that you sleep, how much memory must be there? So, this memory, they may be gone, they may be even dissolved, we don't know. Maybe they've attained mukti, or maybe they've gone somewhere, maybe they've taken another birth, you don't know. But either because you were born of them or you are in touch with them, their memory imprints are there on you. So one important aspect of karma is you must become free of this, it's very important. Becoming free of memory and losing your memory are two different things. If you lose your memory, conscious memory if you lose, this doesn't mean you have become free. It will start working within you in unconscious ways. We want to distance ourselves from our memory. We don't want to lose it. We just want to carry it little loose from us, that's all. So one thing is for the dead, but the most important is also the living. A distance must happen. If there are too many puddles of strong memory, it will also trouble the dead. It is only those close relatives, particularly if they have very loving relationships, it is those people who bother the dead. That is why in this culture, when somebody wants to die, they went away to a place where they're never among the family. You don't want to be with your family when you die because till the last moment, these attachments will go on. You want to be away, alone, clearly understanding all relationships we have made in this world are essentially of memory. If memory is wiped out, no relationship exists. To establish a dimension within us, to become conscious of a dimension which is beyond memory, which is life itself. So, for the departed one, we want to shave off as much memory as possible so that their process of liberation becomes smoother, easier, not tangled up here, there, everywhere. We want to release it. This is why culturally there is a thing that all the blood relatives must arrive when somebody dies. Not anymore. We don't know where they are these days. Otherwise, when somebody dies, I don't know if you're aware of this in the last generation, people will count. Somebody, my grandfather is dead, okay, the sons are here, daughters here, their children are there. What about this brother's son, he's not come. They're accounting, if everybody has come, because they have to come and release him. They have to come and in some way wash their memory. They have to see him dead. If they don't see the dead body and the burning of the dead body, in their memory he still lives. And if he lives there in some way, it doesn't release him. So the karma is just an effort in that direction. If we start tying the clothes that they have used to the tamarind tree, then you would have people's underwears and this and that hanging in front of the temple. Yes? So, we are giving them a cloth, one uniform cloth for everybody, put the things of memory in that and then tie that. Because nobody knows where all that person's memory is. We do not know where all it is stuck. So one simple thing to do is, some whiff of their memory, you put it in a place which is naturally about disentanglement. So normally they will tie it in front of a Shiva temple because he's an ascetic, untouched by anything, always smeared in ash. So where that kind of energies are there, you tie that this time, many people hover around certain things simply because of unconscious memory about something. Unknowingly they start moving in that direction. So all this, in the Western world, there is something called as déjà vu. When I see you, it looks like I've seen you somewhere. So memory guides and memory plays havoc. All this new technology of the 21st century that's seeing is all little bit of… we just managed to throw memory around a little bit. We can capture it in a stick, we can put it in a computer, we can carry it on the phone. Just memory, isn't it? All the games we are playing are just memory. You think it's a song, you think it's a movie, you think it's a video, you think it is something, it's all just memory, isn't it so? So, this is a generation or this is an age when memory is being exploited like never before. Now there have been this kind of things that people are building major high-capacity computers to download all aspects of a particular human being so that when they die, this computer lives, he has the same emotions, has the same genetic memory, has everything, people can relate to it, and that computer knows everybody who are their friends and relatives, talks to them just the way that person was talking. These things are beginning to happen now. Playing with memory too much. Here in this culture, we always want to wipe out memory because we know that's what it means. So, when past repeats itself, that means that which should be dead is living. Someone very forcefully said, this is a living cosmos. In this small bubbles of memory is what you call as individual life. Different levels of memory have become different kinds of creatures. A human being has most complex memory. Because of the complexity of memory, enhancement of abilities have happened, and enhancement of suffering also has happened. Because human beings went through profound dimensions of suffering within themselves, they also started looking, what is the way out of this? Other creatures do not suffer their memory as human beings suffer. Sometimes they suffer a singular memory. There are birds and animals which suffer one memory that happened. Maybe its partner died, or maybe something else happened, they become depressed like that. They just remember that one thing and they suffer that. But a human being is not like that. He can remember a million small things and suffer million times over because it's so vivid. Human memory is so much in detail and there is a certain vividness to it, there is a certain reality to it that it's more real than the real. For most people, what happened yesterday is more real than what's happening right now. That's their experience of life. They live by memory. When you live by memory, you live in the land of death. You live in the land of death with 1 foot in the land of life. That's torture. Nothing bad needs to happen. Good things also people can suffer. How wonderful it was yesterday, you know? That also they can suffer. So, memory is the basis of our existence. And memory is also our bondage, but that will need a different level of involvement, both parties. I want you to understand, we are this sort of people who throw away our lives for small things. Profound passion towards everything, an absolute dispassion towards oneself. This is the nature of one who has seen the world beyond color, beyond taste, beyond perception of the senses. In northern part of India, which presently in the region of Gorakhpur, which is in Uttar Pradesh, in this region, there was a yogi who committed to one aspect of Shiva, which was called Alak Niranjan. Alak means that which is not perceivable, that we cannot see, hear, smell, taste. Niranjan means that which is colorless. That which is colorless, you can anyway not see, hear, smell, taste. It is not perceivable and it's colorless.
Alak Niranjana 𝘁𝗙𝗎𝗃 gunjan 𝗹𝗶𝗏𝗏 Bhairagi 𝘏𝗏𝗏 padanu dwaradi.
Alak Niranjan, Alak Niranjan. One day, he came and stood in front of a wealthy home and said, Alak Niranjan. The lady of the house doesn't want to come out by herself. She sent the maid in the house to give him some grain so that he can eat. But she stood behind the door and looked at him. He was a young sadhu with big bright eyes and she was drawn to him.
Yadajalyanditu maijhumyanditu Sayyama pashav sadilittu Kankala mangala kantiya shantiya Kadalina odalali sidilittu Nahachike nalleya galla gulabige mellane kullanu ಕೊಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು ಅಲಕ್ ನಿರಂಜನ 𝘁𝗙𝗎𝗃 gunjan 𝗹𝗶𝗏 Bhairagi.
Next day when he came and said Alak Niranjan, she herself came to give the alms. And she looked at his eyes and she fell into them. Then she went inside the house and felt ashamed. She's a married woman and what am I doing? But his eyes occupied her completely. Next day when he came with the alms, she ran to the door. She looked at his eyes, she gave him the alms and said, I am completely taken by your eyes. I can fall into them and disappear, actually I have already. He said, Alak Niranjan, and left.
Hey, Alak Niranjana, Alak Niranjana Kanchina kantavu molagittu Hennina kannige 𝗹𝗶𝗏 𝗶𝗎𝑐 ಮೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಮೂರುತಿ ಬೆಳಗಿತ್ತು ಶಪಥವು ಮರೆಯಿತು ಕುಪಥವು ತೆರೆಯಿತು ಕರೆಯಿತು ಕಿಂಕಿಣಿ ಝಂಕಾರ ಕರಣವ ಎಳೆಯಿತು ಹರಣವ ಸೆಳೆಯಿತು ಓಂಕರಿಸುವ ಸ್ಮರ ಟಂಕಾರ ಮೆಲ್ಲದ ಮೇಲುದ ಮೆಲ್ಲನೆ ತೀಡುತ್ತ ಸರಿದಳು ಪ್ರಣಯದ ರಂಗೇರಿ ನಿಲ್ಲೆಲೆ ಜೋಗಿಯೇ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂತಹ ಕಾಂತಿಯು ಕುಣಿಯುತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಲ್ಲೆಲೆ ಜೋಗಿಯೇ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂತಹ ಕಾಂತಿಯು ಕುಣಿಯುತ್ತಿದೆ ತೇಜ ಪೂಜದ ಕಾಂತಿ ವಿಲಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ರವಿ ಶಶಿ ನೈದಿಲೆ ಮಣಿಯುತ್ತಿವೆ.
Next day he came again. He said, Alak Niranjan. She came to the door. So he had a plate and he said, yesterday you said, you love my eyes. Here I have brought them. He had plucked his eyeballs out. And placed it in her hands and said, Alak Niranjan, and walked away. He is willing to become blind so that her inner eyes open up. These are the yogis and mystics of the world.
अलख निराजन अलख निराजन मरुदीन बंदनु आजोगी कीन भागीलु गक्कने तेरेतु मुँह तेरे सरेतु मरयल्ली ताइये तेगदुको ಎನ್ನುತ್ತ ಜೋಗಿಯು ನೀರೆಗೆ ತಾಳಿಯ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ತಾಳಿಯ ತಳ ತಳ ಹೊಳೆಯುವ ಕಣ್ಣುಗಾಲೆರಡನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ತಾಯಿಯೇ ನಿನ್ನಯ ದಿನ ನೀನೆನ್ನಯ ಕಣ್ಣಿನ ಬಣ್ಣನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಕರತಿಯ ಗೋರಿಯ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ ತೊಗಲಿನ ಆ ಕಣ್ಕಿತ್ತಿದೋ ತಂದೆಯರು अलख निराजन अलख निराजन ನಡೆದನು ನಿರ್ವ್ಯಥೆ ಆಜೋಗಿ ಹೊಗಳಿನ ಕಣ್ಬಲಿ ಇಂದಲಿ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಒಳಗಂತರಯಿಸಿ ಕುರುಡಾಗಿ ತಾಯಿಯೇ ನಿನ್ನಯ ದಿನ ನೀನೆನ್ನಯ ಕಣ್ಣಿನ ಬಣ್ಣನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಕರತಿಯ ಕೋರಿಯ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ ತೊಗಲಿನ ಆ ಕಣ್ಕಿತ್ತಿದೋ ತಂದೆಯರು अलख निराजन अलख निराजन
Still we feel that mind chattery which always bothers us, and our thought always shifts back to past and future imaginations which will not be any of output. How to get rid of it?
A whole lot of thought about this thoughtlessness. Thoughtlessness, no mind, these kinds of terms have been propagated all over the place, and these terms have been badly misunderstood and made into all kinds of things, and people are striving how to stop my mind. It took millions of years of evolution to get a mind of this kind of capability. Isn't it? Millions of years of tremendous amount of nature's work that today you have a mind of this kind of scope. And now you want to stop it. Why is it that you want to stop it? If your mind was constantly producing absolute pleasantness for you, would you think how to stop this mind? Would you? No. It's producing a lot of unpleasantness. That's why you're thinking of how to stop the mind. This is the first thing. Wherever you go in the world, this has gone so much into people's mind. If you tell them you meditate, they say, but Sadhguru, I'm not able to stop my mind. I said that will happen only after you stop your kidneys, liver, heart. You stop all these things, then the mind will also stop. Do you want it to stop? No. Then why do you want the mind to stop? Why do you have such a horrible prejudice against the mind? You don't mind if your heart is beating, you can meditate. You don't mind if your liver is working, you can meditate. Your kidneys are functioning, you can meditate. If your brain functions, you can't meditate, what is the problem? You seem to have something against intelligence, isn't it? This is the conspiracy of the stupid against human intelligence, that to meditate means your brain must be frozen. No. You don't have to freeze your brain. We were looking at this yesterday itself. We will initiate you into Shambhavi. It's a simple process. There are many ways to do it. This is one simple way. But it's a powerful process. If you sit here you will see your body is here, your mind is somewhere, who you are is somewhere else. Once there is a space between you and the mind, then what the mind is not doing, what the mind is doing is not even an issue. It is like you're stuck in the traffic jam. You're struggling through the traffic. That's one experience. Suppose you are either standing on Chamundi Hill or you're floating in a hot air balloon and look down at all the traffic. Very peacefully, traffic. Why? There's a distance, isn't it? When you're in it, traffic is a different experience. From really high up there, sitting in a hot air balloon, you look down, you can't even hear the sounds. Looks wonderful, traffic, isn't it? Yes or no? Because there's a distance. So once there's a distance between you and your mind's activity, mind is not a problem. Mind is a miracle, it is not a problem. And anyway, if thoughts are going continuously, if you're having a mental diarrhea, obviously you ate some bad food, isn't it? Yes. If you're having a physical diarrhea, you ate some bad food, isn't it? If you're having a mental diarrhea, you are obviously consumed something wrong. What this wrong thing could be is, the moment you identify yourself with something that you're not, then you're finished. Your mind is a continuous runs. There is no other way. Do what you want, try as hard as you want, it is not going to stop. If you do not identify yourself with anything that you are not, you know how to be with everything, you know how to use everything, but you're not identified with it, then you will see if you sit here, simply mind will be like this. If you want to use it, you can use it, otherwise it'll be like this. Right now your hands are like this, or you're holding it tied up because it'll go all over, is it? No. You can keep it like this. You can keep it like this, you can keep it like this. When you want to use it, you can use it. So it's a useful instrument. Suppose your hands become like this. Some people have become like this. Yes or no? If it becomes like this, you will become ridiculous, isn't it? If it happens to your mind, also you're equally ridiculous. It is just that you are living in the comfort that nobody else can see it. But people can see it. They watch you closely enough, they can see it, isn't it? And whether they can see it or not, that's not the point. The point is, the most important faculty of your life is out of control. Doesn't matter whether they can see it or not, that's not the issue. The issue is, the most important faculty in your life is out of control, doing its own rubbish all the time, not doing what you want it to do. So, if you have to be freed from this ailment, you should stop eating bad food. Wrong food or bad food means you're identifying yourself with things that you're not. If you sit here, if you're not identified with this and with this, then you will see everything is just fine. Then your mind will do what you want it to do. Otherwise, it'll simply hang there, and that's how it should be. Mind should not be telling its own stories all the time. It should tell the story that you want it to tell, isn't it? Otherwise, it's quite a nuisance.
The question is, what means focus to you, and in which way can we apply focus in our daily life? So what's your definition of focus?
Okay. There are many ways to describe this word. Instead of saying focus, if you use the word attention, would you agree that attention and focus are about the same thing? There is a little difference. There are nuances to it, but when you say focus, It's just like focusing a light on something means only a focus is always a spot. Attention can be much more widespread. See, right now, if you have clear vision, I'm having problems seeing the young man because you kept him in darkness there in the hall. But if the hall was well lit, I don't have to focus myself to see the people who are sitting here. I just need attention. If I'm attentive, I will see all the people here the way they are. But now I get interested in this one young man, then I need focus. If I had only focus without the general attention about everything around me, indiscriminate attention I'm talking about, attention not even about something, just being attentive only because there is a certain level of attention and awareness within you, you even know that you exist. Otherwise, let's say in sleep, in your experience, neither the world exists nor you exist, all that's happened is there is no attention. Because there is no attention, there is no perception of any kind.